All right, so I've already shared a couple of signals. As you can see, this one right there was a pending order. The video was explaining that on November 16th, explained as to where our stop loss was gonna be. Same video, I mean, same setup here. You can see it was doing well. We actually still have this. Some of us still have this. Some have already scaled out due to the nature of their account sizes. And this is today's signal. We bought again and placed our stop at 11,900. Okay, let me just quickly show you on the chart as to what were doing. So this is the first position that I showed you, and then here's today's position. As you can see, we bought down somewhere there, stop loss at 11,900 for this second position, and you can see that it's actually doing well. However, let me just break this down. If you are seeing this video right now, maybe you are not part of the private signals, do not worry. I'm going to share a little bit of what could actually take place. Okay, so in order for one to buy, I'm going to start with a buy. In order for one to buy, at least look for an opportunity, a breakout of that particular trend line. Okay, close and a nice retest, and we're most likely to see that as soon as the Nasdaq opens or the stock market opens. Okay, we're most likely to see that to the upside. Okay, that fast, even the move could actually even come back down here before it even thrash back up. Maybe 50% of this particular leg there to the upside. If you were to think of it, there is some sort of a harmonic pattern that is taking place somewhere around that particular point. So I know that somewhere around 50% we could see a correction to the upside, but we're already in profit, already moved our profit, I mean our stop loss to break even. So that's not a big deal. So if you're a buyer, just wait for a break of that and a nice correction. Okay, break of that and a nice correction, similar to what I was sharing before. Yeah, if you still remember, go back and watch the videos that maybe I shared on the free Telegram channel. We're looking for a break and a correction, and that actually took place. And some of you, I've seen your messages sending me that you've made a couple of thousand rands. That is a cool thing. Keep on grinding. That's the whole point. The whole point is for us to trade and make money. Okay, that's the whole point. But we need to have at least systems in place that are allowing us to do so, not just to gamble and all the chanties. Okay, so make sure that you have a system, you have a strategy in place. So in this case, yes, we're most likely to see that. But in the case of a bearish one, if you are a seller, this is what you're gonna be looking at, okay, which is exactly what is happening. Right, we can see that actually price broke out of that structure and then went back in a very nice way to retest. So what you have to do is to look for a nice evidence. It could be a pin bar there, and then go ahead and sell. This is for sellers. But one could ask, so Vinny, since you are in a buy, how are you going to manage your buy? That's why I said that this is already at break even. So if scenario number 2, which is this sell, takes place, obviously we're gonna get stopped out in profit. Some of the members have already closed the trades entirely just to lock in some profits. Okay, because if some have very tiny accounts, so if you're trading like a 2, 3, 4,000 rands account, obviously as soon as you make 2,000 rands in profit, 3,000 rands in profit, you've already made 100% of your profit. So you are entitled to close that particular position. So this is for intraday. This is not for long term. We're not targeting 4,000 points or 3,000 points or anything of that nature. If you are looking at this sort of a setup, because this right here, it's a nice bullish move, or rather nice bearish correction. If I was to look at it from a correction perspective, if we look at this one as the impulsive wave, and this one is going to be the correction. So we can see that price right now broke out of that trend line formed by these 2 points, and we're currently in a retest phase or correction phase. So somewhere there, I believe those who are looking at the trend line are going to look for opportunities to do that. But for the buyers, I know that you guys right there, you're going to look for the opposite, which is actually this particular guy. As soon as this thing breaks out of this, then you're gonna clearly look for that. That's for buyers. These are 2 conditions, simple, nothing complex. That's what I wanted to share. However, we could actually look for another position around about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what we're gonna look for. Hopefully we'll find something to add into this so that we can make a little bit more. So if you look at oil have done well and it's doing well. I've shared this. There's a video explaining. If you are in the signals group, scroll back up to those videos that I've shared. If you're in the the course itself, of course, you should have an extra group which will say, it should say the Vindy charts lifetime, something like that. Okay, so if you are in the signals group, let me just show you. You should have this. If you are in the lifetime, you should have that. Okay, so that's the difference between that. Yeah. So oil doing what? This is highly correlated to NAS. Most of the times highly correlated to NAS. As you can see, it's almost the same thing. So you can say that the same pattern we had, okay, and then this thing broke out of that trend line. Can you see that? But it came back up. Okay, so if it went against us, it will have hit us at break even just after this retest. But for now, we've already made enough money from it. So that's the kind of shanties that I wanted to show you. Honestly, the videos are there on the channels. Keep in mind, guys, I do not allow anyone to enroll at the moment, whether for signals or for the course itself. I do not allow anyone to enroll. So please don't send me messages asking, how do we join? How do we join? I will announce when there's a time or the space or whatever the case could be, but I do not allow anyone to enroll at the moment. I have to work with whoever that's here so that we make a little bit of money for the festives first. That's when I can allow other people to come in. Okay, so for me, it's not all about how many people are coming and all that. I have the opening and the closing date. I don't like this whole shanties of signals and all that. Okay, otherwise let's shut it down. I hope it made a little bit of sense, that we're looking at the buy of this, or you can add or scale in as soon as you get that opportunity. Maybe you hide your stop loss down here, same as ours, and then you look for a buy a little bit higher. Okay, that's another possibility for you. If you wanna add that position, you can look at it from that particular one. If you're a seller, obviously it's gonna be the opposite of what I'm actually showing you right here. So obviously, if this thing, as soon as this thing gives you a nice maybe H4 pin bar of some sort there, then you can start selling down to this point. This is very, very decent. The second one, hide your stop loss exactly where I've highlighted it at 12,157. That's where you should hide it, exactly where we have our TP for the first position or the second position. That's where your stop loss should be as a sell. I'm just sharing. Maybe it will depend on whether this thing breaks out or breaks down. That's when I'm gonna add another signal to the signals group. Okay, so if you have a question, let me know, and don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm just sharing maybe one or two things that I'll be willing to do with you. Okay, otherwise, keep well. The gold one had a buy there. I think I've already shared that one. The gold one had a buy, it went well. We scaled in. That's a good thing about what we did this week. We added positions, so we actually made more easily, because you see this one went nice, broke out, and then we scaled in, added another position. So if it was to go back up and do something like that, we could possibly scale in and add another position back to the upside. So we're basically just riding this move, although this is not a strong sort of a trend. We're just trying to ride this thing and make money for the festive. So you can see that we're not forcing things, but we're looking at the systems and we're looking at all that. Because I'm drawing lines, obviously it's going to look simple and all that, but sometimes you find that I'm not only looking at trend lines, sometimes I'm only looking at trend lines. Okay, so don't be deceived. Sometimes I look at them, sometimes I don't look at them. I add other things to see if there's going to be a breakout, a continuation of some sort, and all that sort of shanties. Otherwise, let's shut it down.